Hello, everyone. Welcome into the PHLY Phillies Pregame Show. Jamie Lynch, Renee Washington in with you. Tyler Zulli in the shadows lurking like a ninja. He will be joining our watch-along, Renee, coming up as 7:20 national game tonight down in Atlanta. The Fox crew. I'm sure there'll be no bias coming out of John Smoltz tonight at all. But it's a big one, Renee. Series on the line. Chance to take one from the Braves, a much depleted Braves team, but nonetheless, a series win versus the Braves would be great considering how tough they've been. I mean, last night's game was rough, but they got it done.
They did. And last night, I got to the point, I was like, please just find a way to squeeze this out. Like, it was yet another game, low scoring between these two, despite my prediction of a high scoring game. I was just being ambitious. Another low scoring game between these two, and another
I picked them to lose, so you did better than me.
Right, correct. That's true. You were very wrong for that. But also, these are the types of games that you have to grind out. You know, when you have an opportunity and you have your pitching's doing well, you hold a team like, I don't care how injured they are, they're still the Braves. You hold them to just 2 runs. You got to find a way to win. So I'm glad as like both of the first 2 games of the series were very slow, dragging types of matchups. At least they got one. And now you can go into today with a chance to win the series, which would be a huge, huge boost for this team, especially given how we've been very frustrated with them lately. So if you can come out of this with a series won.
Yeah, it'd be great. And last night was impressive, and we'll get into the Cristopher Sanchez Schwellenbach matchup and the starting lineups as it's a little different tonight. Alec Boehm getting a breather. But the thing that was impressive last night about getting that win that looked like it was going to be a loss. Thank you, Orlando Arcia, for being a complete dumbass at all times. We really, really appreciate that. But what was most impressive, Renee, it was Weston Wilson. It was Johan Rojas. It was some of those guys that kind of grounded it out. Advanced runners, played that small ball, manufactured some runs, and they got it done. And the bullpen was able to come in and get it done and looked good. Orion Kerkering, I kind of got very encouraged by him last night. So last night was a really good win. And if you can keep this rolling, this is a tough 13 days, and it would be a tremendous start to this tough little 13-day portion of the schedule.
Yeah, there were a lot of minor victories in that win yesterday. I mean, you get Carlos Estevez, who gets the save. He's been obviously a little up and down in his start with the Phillies. Then you look at the guys like Yoro, even Brandon Marsh getting that 8th inning RBI. Brandon Marsh makes a play. Weston Wilson continues to show that he's deserving of more opportunities. And yet again, it's another time where the Phillies are led by not their big 3, not the top of the lineup consistently, but you did get production, at least thankfully, out of Trey and Kyle as well as the game went on. So I like the fact that you could at least walk away from yesterday coming into today feeling like, okay, wasn't a pretty game.
Yeah.
We don't mind. Wasn't pretty at all. Very ugly baseball at times. Orlando Arcia is also very frustrating. And you did look, period, or you know what you're doing. And on top of that, the Phillies were able to get some production out of a variety of players, which you just needed. At this point, it's like, step up, figure out a way to win games. And Yoro and Weston Wilson continue to be like some unsung heroes for the Phillies, and hopefully that continues.
Yeah, Weston Wilson was great after the game last night. Manager Rob Thompson said, he puts the bat on the ball. He makes things happen every time we give him a chance. And he said, yeah, I am considering starting him versus the righty tonight, Schwellenbach. And when I first saw the lineup, I immediately glanced my eyes over to left field to see Weston Wilson. And I went, oh, I guess he's lying because there's Brandon Marsh. But no, he's playing third base, super utility man that he is. Alec Boehm getting the night off. We'll dive into that with the lineups here coming up in a second. But this is from the Phillies media guide that just came out. And this sounds a bit silly to say out loud, Renee. But if I told you Weston Wilson belonged in a category with Aaron Judge, Juan Soto, and Shohei Ohtani, would you believe me?
At this point, I believe anything for the Phillies. This is that type of a season where we've been seeing their names in the categories and history and records of things that I'm just like, where are these? Where are these coming from? And what's next?
Hold on to your butt, because here it is. Weston Wilson last night reached his 50th plate appearance, which is a big qualifier for a lot of categories around baseball. And of those 50 trips to the plate, 7 have ended with barrels, giving him a 14% barrel rate. Per StatCast, 484 players have had at least 50 plate appearances this year. Of that 484, Weston Wilson's 14% barrel rate ranks second, trailing only New York Yankee Aaron Judge, who is at 15.8%. Let's just pause and
what I heard is he's Aaron Judge.
Yeah, basically. Juan Soto ranks third at 13.5. Yeah, and this guy Shohei Ohtani's at 13.1%. So what you're hearing is slightly worse than the probable AL MVP, him or Bobby Witt. It's going to be a great race. And then better than Juan Soto and Shohei Ohtani. Your thoughts, Renee?
That's all I needed to hear. So essentially, Weston Wilson's going to come in, put his name at the top of the hat as being an MVP. I just heard that. Like he's the man to build the team around. He's the future for the Phillies, and he's better than now Juan Soto and Shohei Ohtani. That is all sarcasm for anybody that's in. I know we have a Dodgers fan in the chat, BC, who's always here. We have Weston Wilson. You've got Shohei Ohtani. We've got Weston Wilson. But
BC's probably having a tough time digesting that one. That Weston Wilson's
I know that was tough. I will say though, to see him come into yesterday's game. You saw him go 2 for 3. You saw him get the double. You saw him score the winning run. Like Weston Wilson, these are the things you have to continue to build off of. Because to be honest, I don't know how long this will continue for Weston Wilson. And I think this is who he is. He's 29 years old. He's not your typical rookie. He's a little bit older, obviously. That being said, we don't have a big enough sample size for him to know.
50 plate appearances defines everything forever and always. That's it.
But that's why I'm like, you know what? Keep this going. If he's hitting well, he's feeling it. He's making big plays. He's helping to win games. Keep him out there. I like that he's in third base today. Keep this going because we saw this with like a Rafael Marchand. We've seen this with Cody Clemens and different guys. And you wonder, had they stayed in the lineup a little bit more consistently, could we have continued to utilize them in a meaningful way? So Weston Wilson, WWW. Weston Wilson for the win.
Yeah.
Second best in Major League Baseball.
But in all seriousness, like the guy does put the bat on the ball and he does make stuff happen. So I understand why Rob's enamored with him. Shout out to Frank Barber, says his commute home sucks, but at least he's got us hanging out with him making it better. Thank you, Frank, for being in here. So let's get to the pitching matchup tonight. Cristopher Sanchez, last time we saw him, was a return trip home, and he went 9 scoreless versus the Washington Net. Oh, excuse me. He did allow the 1 earned run, but he went complete game, 1 earned run, 4 strikeouts, was a ground ball machine forcing 15 of them, just under 100 pitches at 99 pitches. On the road, the start before that, not so good. The road start before that, very good. And then he was pretty solid versus the Guardians and Yankees to round out his last 5. Gets the opportunity down in Atlanta tonight. You want to feel good about Cristopher, but he is a different pitcher on the road. So I'd like to believe he's going to go down there and outduel Spencer Schwellenbach tonight, who we'll dive into momentarily.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's great to see. We saw Aaron Nola have a good day yesterday. Of course, for Aaron Nola, he was coming off of one of his best performances of the season and was able to continue that in the 5 and 3rd innings. Solid in his 2 runs and 8 hits, 2 walks. But I think for Cristopher Sanchez, it's the same thing. Like, he just came off of a complete game. You really got to see a huge, just all the love, all the positives. I know Rob was talking about Cristopher Sanchez. JT Romino was talking about Cristopher Sanchez. Of course, Sanchi was as well, talking about his own performance and just the growth that he's been putting in and the work he's been putting in and how he's really been locking in and maturing. Is mostly mental. You know, he's had the stuff and it's now piecing it all together. And now something he's been talking about consistently is like not having to think, but just being able to execute. And so I think today's a huge opportunity. Like, last game was the complete game. This is a huge opportunity. You're going up against a rookie who the Phillies have seen already, but still a rookie nonetheless. And you have a chance to go out and win the series for them. So these are those momentum boosters that when you look at the series as a whole, or the season as a whole, go such a long way. He still needs these moments like this. This is like a playoff feeling moment for Cristopher Sanchez.
It's a big game tonight. Yeah.
Huge game for him. Series on the line, like huge moment to show that complete game and everything he's done this season is who he is. And so I'm excited for him because I feel like he's feeling it. I'm also nervous though because it is on the road and the numbers don't lie on Cristopher Sanchez. So this is also a chance to start to get right on the road because he's been struggling.
But you don't want to make too much out of a late August game, but it does have a feel of like some importance to it because you want to beat the Braves. You might be able to give them, another arm's length away. It's a difference between 8 games back and 6 games back. And that's somewhat substantial this time of the year. So it does have a big game vibe to it. A little bit for as late in the season as we are. In his career, Cristopher Sanchez has only faced the Braves 3 times. He's 0-2 with an ERA of 4.73. And has 13 strikeouts over 3 appearances versus the Braves in his career. So not an extensive track record versus the Braves. But on the other side of the mound tonight, we get the Rook, Spencer Schwellenbach, who's 4-6 on the year. Slightly north of 4 ERA, 4.04. His whip is pretty solid, 1.07. He's not putting a ton of guys on base. Ks, he has 85 Ks on the year. So right-handed guy, Brandon Marsh gets the start. Weston Wilson the third. Schwellenbach certainly doesn't send shivers down my spine, but he's no pushover either. No.
I mean, again, this is for the Braves, whoever they roll out with all the injuries that they have. It's just the Braves. It doesn't matter whether it's a rookie. It doesn't matter if it's Schwellenbach. It doesn't matter if it was Spencer.
You like how I throw a little stank on the H, Schwellenbach?
I feel like that's accurate. I feel like you should.
And also, you gotta throw a little stank on it.
He's Spencer Jr. They got a Spencer Strider and a Spencer Schwellenbach. And I feel like they're just a team that every player they have has pride. And I know Marcell Ozuna was talking about it, how they really go into every game just looking to have fun and just play and not worried about who's out there and injuries. And so on paper, these are those matchups that's like, oh, great. It should be a great day for Sanchez. The Phillies should go out and easily close out the series. We know that's not the case at all.
Marcell Ozuna is a piece of poop.
He is, I know, but he's helping my fantasy team win games.
Well, he's a piece of poop. But I wish him the worst in life. Fair? That's fair, right? I'm allowed to say these things after he does what he does.
No, for sure. He's an awful person.
Yeah, screw him.
Yeah, for sure.
So the lineup tonight, a little bit different of a lineup as Alec Bohm gets the rare day off for him. Leading off tonight, you have Kyle Schwarber, this guy Trey Turner in the 2-hole, Bryce Harper in the 3-hole. Renee, I will just say this. I have heard through the grapevine, little birdies have told me that Bryce Harper's wrist is pretty banged up. It makes sense. Late lineup we talked about the other day, the wear and tear. Bryce just missed one last night, hit it 104 miles an hour. Just got under it, just a hair. Otherwise, that ball's out of there. It's good to see that. Hopefully, the wrist starts feeling better for him any day now, and he snaps out of this. Nick Castellanos in the 4-hole, Bryson Stott playing the 5-hole, JT in the 6, Brandon Marsh 7, Weston Wilson, I'm better than Shohei Ohtani, and Juan Soto in the 8-hole, and Johan Rojas batting 9th.
Yeah, listen, we knew there were some injuries that were lingering, to your point about Bryce, as the lineup Tuesday took so long to come out, and then it was like, it's the whole team, it's everyone that we were checking on to make sure that they were, everyone's a game time decision. And we've wondered and speculated who's really more seriously injured or just more injured than others. I think last night, seeing Kyle and Trey have a moment, each get an RBI breakthrough. I think they've just been so up and down. But for Bryce, it's just been noticeable. Even on that miss, that was a great close chance, but you can tell something's not right. And so I really do hope that they're able to manage him well, because what you hate to have happen is it linger and become something worse when you really do need to count on him. Right now, you've had Weston Wilson, a.k.a. the second best player in baseball. You've had
just behind Aaron Judge.
Right.
Fair.
You've had Yoro. You've had, obviously, Kyle and Trey breakthrough moments. You've had consistency from Castellanos and Bohm. This is a time that if you can just kind of grind through and manage Bryce so that he doesn't have to do I don't know, get him another day off. I don't know what it's going to look like.
HGH is the answer you're looking for. HGH directly injected into his wrist. That is the quickest way back. But in all seriousness, we got a little nerd from our nerd research department behind the scenes here, Renee. And of course, it's some advanced numbers on Spencer Schwellenbach. Tyler wants us to know that Schwellenbach is 75th percent or better. Excuse me.
Oh, all that Bakken has got you back.
Yeah. little phlegmy. 75th percentile or better in expected ERA, fastball velocity, exit velocity, chase rate, whiff rate, barrel rate, K percentage, and walk percentage. So there is your deep dive on Schwellenbach. But it'll be interesting to see a lineup without Alec Boehm tonight. Him and Nick Castellanos have been, kind of your stalwarts of steadiness over the last 2 months. So he's not going to be in the lineup tonight. That's something you're going to have to deal with. And hopefully somebody steps up to make it a smooth, boneless night.
Boneless night. Sounds like wings. Some boneless wings.
Sounds like my dating life. I couldn't resist. That was too good. It was just set up there. Yeah,
I wasn't. I was just stuck on chicken wings. But apparently our minds are in very different places. It's only
I'm a child, Renee. You know that now.
I was gonna say it was like it's actually could be a really great sponsorship opportunity for him if he wanted to tap into some boneless wings.
Oh, but Buffalo Wild Wings is a client of ours.
A match made in heaven, and he's Raffy, the boneless wings. Like I see it all coming together. But I will say, as we're getting started the pregame stuff, and we're getting closer and closer. I like the fact that Boehm is not there. There's your buddy John Smoltz, by the way. I'm on the Fox broadcast.
I actually like Smoltz. He's not incredibly super biased, but it does come out. But I do like his analysis in game. I think he's pretty good.
All right, back to Boehm because I got distracted by the boneless wings and John Smoltz and Jason.
And my awesome joke.
Yeah. So I like the fact he's getting a day off. He's been so consistent.
Yeah, he needs it.
Yeah, he needs it. And I think, to be honest, as much as we talk about Nick being an everyday guy, Boehm is on the cusp of truly being that, where he doesn't need days off. But he absolutely is deserving of. We've seen him slotting into first base for Bryce for his day off at the end of the National Series. He's been moving around and playing well. So I like the fact he gets a chance to get a day off, stay fresh, and you also get another opportunity for Weston Wilson. This is another way to keep him in the lineup, manage the group so you don't have to overextend anybody, and see what you can get from Weston Wilson again today. Maybe he'll be another WWW type of performance.
Yeah, MBDBDBF. Did I nail that? Did I nail that? I think I did. He just said the body bag game, Marcell Ozuna edition. Hell yeah. With Kalenic, sliding a little bit into Sosa last night, Orlando Arcia doing his thing. If there was ever a time for a good brawl, tonight would be the night.
Who do you think?
Especially if you go down, there's nothing that's going to pull a team together like a good brawl. So if things start going badly tonight, maybe somebody catches ones in the ribs. I for one would like to see it.
Who's leading that? Who do you think from the?
I think if you had to pick a pitcher, it would either be Strom or Orion.
Orion looks like he's got some.
He
like he's a guy that can really burst through and talk some junk, jump in your face.
You gotta put him on the table a little bit when you're throwing at somebody's head.
He's like a gamer and what is he?
Strom's got a badass streak to him, I think. Yeah.
Great. It was great to see him yesterday. Speaking of Strom,
he looked good. And Orion both looked good last night.
Yeah, it was good. Both of them got it. But it might be something you got to get some of this anger or frustration out, jump in someone's face. Nothing that's going to cost you anything too much of in terms of missing games or anything. But yeah, get a little scuffle going. Strong bully for the.
I mean, come on, sports fights are fake anyway. You know what I mean? It all gets broken up. It's not like an NBA fight, or this isn't a Dominican Winter Ball League fight where you have 50 guys brawling. It's like two guys wrestle and then other guys tickle each other and it's over. It's
not the tickles. It makes me laugh because it's so funny when you see them come running out like they're going to do something and then they get nose to nose and then you're just yelling back. I don't know about you. I don't want anybody in my face that close.
Yeah, get your stank breath out of my face.
Yeah, I don't want stank breath all in my face. If you're going to come close, push them. do a little shoulder, little, something, but it's a weird.
Another comment in the chat, Renee. Seth F says, Smoltz is the worst. I cannot stand him. I reserve the right to change my review on John Smoltz till after the game. We'll see how he does tonight.
That's naturally going to change depending on what he does in the next few
hours. Somebody else, who was it? Scrolling up here. Where is it? James Alexander is going to be with us 1 week from today at Top Tomato downtown. Looking forward to meeting you, James. Going to be awesome. 1 week from today with our awesome partners, Miller Lite. We're going to be at Top Tomato in downtown Center City, Philadelphia. If you're going to be able to attend, just go to the All PHLY events tab on our website, RSVP, that you can be there. You'll be entered in for a ticket raffle, memorabilia raffle, all sorts of good stuff. We're going to be doing pregame, postgame, watch party there. $1 beer, $1 hot dogs. It'll be a good time. So looking forward to meeting you, James, and hopefully we can meet some more of you as well. Yeah,
it's so crazy how fast this month is rolling by, that we're already near the day of our August 29th watch along and live shows and everything. But this month is flying by. I know there were the numbers that were coming around because, of course, now we're looking at the postseason. The playoff watch is on of like what needs to happen to make sure the Phillies can hold on and make sure they can continue this lead in the NL East, but of course also to just lock down the top of the NL. But if the Phillies were to play 500 ball for the rest of the season, they would set themselves up nicely to continue to win the NL East first and foremost, and then you have to hold your breath for everything else. I know, as Aaron was mentioning, like every win's an important win. Right now, no lead is a big enough lead, and every team is playing well. It's always a challenge. Like, you just have to go out there and continue to win. And that's what everybody's been saying. Like, you got to lock in on just today, winning today, and letting the chips fall where they may. They've done such a good job of setting themselves up nicely that you don't have to feel as much pressure. But 500 ball the rest of the season puts the Phillies at 92-70 on the season. A team that
my prediction was either 92 or 93. I can't remember which one it was. If you had asked me at the All-Star break if I was going to be right on that, I would have said, hell no. They're going to go 100 plus. And what a difference a month or two makes.
So the Phillies were able to go 500 the rest of the season. The Braves would have to go 25-11 just to tie. So let's hope, of course, we don't have to have any of these issues because the Phillies are going to take care of business starting soon.
Yeah, and there is Bryce Harper on the national broadcast with Fox. So for everybody that's here in the chat with us, we are going to start a new link momentarily, and we're going to be watching the game live with you. I'm about to go I haven't thought about dinner yet, and I don't want to do it during the show, so I'm going to do it during this little 5-minute break.
You don't have
yeah, I think I'm just going to make a turkey sandwich or something and pour myself a big old glass of bourbon.
I got a nice, I got some Chinese food.
Ooh, what's your go-to order?
With some shrimp fried rice, a piece of some chicken wings. That's my.
I love fried rice. I'm a pork fried rice man, preferably. But the shrimp's good, chicken's good. It's all.
These are a game changer. We'll talk about them more during the live watch along show. It doesn't look so great right now because I just took a bite, but pizza rolls.
I mean, yeah, I can see that being good. I didn't. I thought it was a 7:20 start. My bad. Let's get the hell out of here. This is Rob Thompson. Yeah, I thought it was 7:20. Apparently, it's 7:10.
I swear it was 7:20.
I swore it was.
Oh, I mean, it's now.
Yeah,
it's happening.
I guess.
All right, let's go.
This is stupid. No consistency with start times across baseball. Sometimes it's 6:40, sometimes it's 7:10, 7:20. Who gives a damn? We're going to have a new link for you. We're going to tweet it out shortly. Hopefully, we'll see you for the watch along. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight. Predictions, who cares? Hopefully, the Phillies win. We'll see you back momentarily.
Bye.